And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. Happy Friday of Grade A Fantasy. Let's take a review of what happened last night. And so far, hey, what it was going to happen sooner or later, I guess you could say is the first bad night. Now, this is what I have up so far, but we'll take a look at what happened yesterday. I was hoping some stuff hit. I did hit some single stuff. Dougie Hamilton assists. Obviously, we got game scripted out because once they beat the pants off Anaheim 4-1, there wasn't really no pressure to press and chase and anything like that. Plus, they got it up to I think 6-1, so you wasn't gonna get no power plays out of that. But we did hit the multiple different combinations of stack: Kyrou Holloway, Shen Kyrou, so that worked. Jersey had 5 power plays, didn't capitalize. So great read, bad execution. And I was able to get Jack Hughes for 2 points, and that's pretty much it. So, let's get back on the horse. It's a nice 5-game slate. This should be a quick, detailed video because I am betting tonight, and I'm also playing fantasy. Sucks that FanDuel did drop the GPPs from what it normally had been all week, but it's still a 5-game slate to figure out. But there are some interesting news developing. The last I heard, let's go back to where we was. So I had interest in two games, betting wise: San Jose and Utah, and Montreal and Washington. Not really much going on in Montreal, Washington. Everything should be fine there, but the injury news is on both sides of that San Jose Utah game. While I was finishing up my research and getting ready to record this video, Dylan Guenther just got ruled out. You're gonna see. He's not on the sports books. He has the big red O in fantasy, so no Dylan Guenther. So line 2 is gonna change. The power play is gonna change for the San Jose Sharks. And the reason why I like this is because both teams have high minutes in power plays. Sharks have the 10 most minutes with a below 80 penalty kill, to be exact, 78%, and Arizona. Wow. Utah Coyotes. Wow, got that wrong again. Utah Hockey Club. We already know we've attacked their power play as well. As of right now in that game, goalies, Vejmelka is confirmed, but San Jose might go Askarov, who has been goaltending well. But now the other injury or semi-injury is Zetterlund, but the last update that, if you followed it, and that I got was yesterday, he did go with the team. He's not confirmed to play, but he did take the flight with the team. So he was well enough to fly and take the flight to Utah. Who knows if he plays? I guess it's one of those things that we'll test it out. Some teams have had their morning skate. Right now, it is 1 o'clock here on the East Coast, just past 1:15. So, we could actually talk about the Montreal game. That's the other game that I'm interested in, as you can see by the title. Once again, just something about me and defenseman, huh? Jakob Dobes, the rookie call-up, has had an amazing debut. He shuts out Florida and I think only gives up 1 goal to Colorado. And yeah, I've looked him up. Had a great performance in the AHL. And yeah, big goalie. Kind of reminds of a quicker moving, I guess you could say, Martin Brodeur from the mid-90s, like those big goalies that could just cover up so much. So he's going against Charlie Lindgren. Lindgren, obviously the weaker of the two with Logan Thompson. So once that was confirmed earlier, then I was like, yeah, we could definitely look at both sides of this game, without a doubt. Once I definitely saw what the lines were confirmed. First, we'll start on the Washington side, obviously. Well, no, we'll start on the Montreal side. And because it's Charlie Lindgren, now, yes, these teams have played twice. Capitals won 4-2 and 6-3. But if there's one thing that stays in common is the fact that, yes, I'm just going to point it out, and yes, it is going to work. And I think because they're underdogs, the prices are pretty decent. That price is way too crazy for 1 point Ovechkin and Strome, even though, yes, there is a possibility in a 4-2 game, you could have Ovechkin, Strome score twice, with a mixture of, 5-on-5 and power play. But what I do like here is, yes, we're going to go Suzuki and Caulfield have pretty much put up points in both games, in both losses. But the fact that it's Charlie Lindgren at net, and he's let go of a few goals. We're gonna go Nick. I definitely like Nick Suzuki and Caulfield. In the Capitals 4-2 game, when the Capitals won 4-2, that was Logan Thompson at net. The 6-3 game was Charlie Lindgren. So right there, if you see the way these two teams have played, Charlie Lindgren has the opportunity to give up 3, maybe even 4 goals. But the Capitals have put up 4 or more goals in the 2 games so far. So Nick Suzuki, what I have in notes here, Nick Suzuki and Caulfield is basically what I like here for Montreal. But if there's anything that I really like, because we're gonna get good prices for it, and in both games they have produced. They have produced in both of these games. I like the second line. I like Dubois. I like Wilson. And after their morning skate, if he's still there, yes, I like Connor McMichael. They haven't morning skated yet. It's not confirmed, but I don't think Washington should be doing anything to switch up their lines. So Pierre, I'm probably gonna treat Washington too. Just like how I treated St. Louis too just the other night. So I think I like the combination of Pierre-Luc Dubois, Wilson. If you do that, you're looking at plus 135. And if you keep the center Dubois and go down just a little bit to Connor McMichael minus 102, now you're looking at plus 156. So I definitely like that. But my favorite picks, we're going to go based on the 2 defensemen. John Carlson, like I said, it doesn't work for everybody, but the double defenseman power play, I love it. I just love it, and I love it how they run it. Plus, you got 2 defensemen that are great puck movers and shooters. One shoots more than the other, but the opportunity to just score points and assists is viable here. So, what did I start with? Oh, and the reason why I went power play, because if you just seen it, Stroman, Ovechkin, or I think if I'm not mistaken, if I just saw it, I could go back. But when I was taking my notes, both Stroman and Ovechkin were for a power play. So that's a certain type of point instead of just regular 5-on-5. I was getting close to what their power play odds were to just get a combo of people. So they're definitely not worth it. Ovechkin 175. I think Strome was 145, maybe even 150. And you could get that for maybe Strome just doing an assist. So not taking the power play, no value there. But Tom Wilson plus 280, John Carlson and Jakob Chychrun 290 and plus 220 for the power play. So as we go here with that logic, let's go back a little bit. So if we're gonna focus on those guys, and we got Chychrun, like I said. Oh, I did put them on my notes. I just didn't put them on the odds. I like marking off what I have. Wait, yeah, there we go. Plus 220. I had everybody else on my notes. I just put that down. So that I have so far. When we go back, when it comes to regular props, yes, just the opportunity to swing it around to Ovechkin. I definitely like both guys for an assist. Single betting. So Chychrun is plus 124. And then if we go down, the one who's more likely to pass, even though they both shoot, I both like their assist props. Like I said, that double power play and 5-on-5 opportunity is a great look for both. So we're going to take single bets of Chychrun and John Carlson for both the assists. And just for the hell of it, because, just to cover your ass, even though he doesn't get it, you could take them both for point. Chychrun is minus 115, but just for a basic point, you know how like sometimes you think a guy's pass first, he's just going to get an assist, and if that one day he decides to shoot, well, guess what? John Carlson has those days. If we look this up, his assist prop, no, not his assist prop, his point prop, just in case, he wants to shoot and we don't get the assist, and he is assist on the power play point, but let's say he scores on the power play, which he can, he's actually plus 100 for a point. He's actually a straight up plus 100 for a point. So we'll do that. And if he assists on a power play, we already knock out 3 props in a row. If he scores a point regularly or assists on something, that's still a point for a prop, and he hits the assist prop, so we get 2 out of 3. So I'm definitely not going to mind that. So we'll put that there. And the other bet that I like, we're going to go back to Jakob Chychrun. Jakob Chychrun in 7 of his last 8 games has gone over 2.5 shots. And when he was out early with injury. So in the second game, when the Capitals won 4-2, and he had a power play assist with Dylan Strome and Connor McMichael. This was also around the time where, if I'm pretty sure, I think this was when Ovechkin was out with his knee injury and they had to shuffle lines a bit. He definitely picked up the slack, and he went for 6 shots along with John Carlson with 4. But like I said, I could definitely see Chychrun going over his 2.5. Now, even with Ovechkin, I don't see both of them. I did write in my notes that for the individual prop, if you see it here. Now, I'm not doing no ladder. This is just shots on goal. He has a nice prop of over 2.5, so I'll take that. Because Chychrun, like I said, he's the more aggressive shooter. This could be the day you could get the setup. It's a bit dangerous, and they're juicing you to the over, because for over 2.5, for over the same prop, John Carlson is plus 142 for over 2.5. But we'll stick with just these guys doing that right there. So John Carlson assists. So what do we have here? We have Jakob Chychrun over 2.5 shots. We have his power play prop. We have John Carlson for a point. John Carlson for assists. Jakob Chychrun for an assist. And then we got Tom Wilson, John Carlson, Jakob Chychrun for a power play point. So that's what we have here today, ladies and gentlemen. Also, like I said, I'm waiting for confirmation before I lock up. But more than likely, it's always the left wing on Washington too that's been moved around. They've kept Dubois. There's no injuries or anything like that. Connor McMichael has been on the 3rd and 4th line, but I guess with some depth coming back, I guess they moved him back up to the 2nd line. He should just always be there. But if anything, what I'm recommending once again, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Tom Wilson, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Connor McMichael, and guess what? That last 2 that I mentioned, they're not on power play 1, but guess what? They're with Ovechkin, and Dubois and McMichael are on power play 2. This is a lineup that splits the power play, because regardless, Ovechkin's staying out there for the entire 2 minutes. So instead of worrying about rotating a whole new 5, you're only rotating a whole new 4 in the power play, and it's set up that way. So if you want to point Dubois and McMichael, you could also, there's also a possibility that you might see them attack Montreal on the power play. And if I'm not mistaken, I think being on the 2nd power play gives them slightly better odds. If I'm not mistaken, yes, Tom Wilson, like I said, Tom Wilson plus 280. Oh, no, they're not even on. They're not even on here. Yeah, they only got the top power play guys. So we're restricted to that. We're restricted to that. But on top of what I just gave you there, yes, also don't forget, I definitely still I'm still gonna put it in. Wait, let me before I say I don't. It still gets me plus 111. Suzuki Caulfield. I'm definitely gonna put that in. And like I said, it definitely has the ability to hit with Charlie Lindgren at net. And that's pretty much about it. The injuries and like I said, lack of more than skate, no info yet. I don't know if I want to touch anything from Sharks Utah yet. I got to see where those lines move. But if anything, we could go to that line. And once again, it's a good power play matchup either way. There's going to be power play opportunities with these 2 teams. Both teams are basically in the top 10 in penalty minutes. If there's something that I would like to risk or just play it because it looks good to play and it seems worth my time, obviously doing points here with that Utah top line, there's a lot of heavy ownership. That's where the money's going. If you're doing point matchups, you'll just have to wait for the final line combinations and see if hopefully Granlund and Eklund are combined or whatever, because minus 122, plus 122 are good odds. Like I said, the game is in Utah, so top line will go against whoever's the best line, which is the top line of San Jose, where majority of scoring comes from. It is going to have to look at Keller, Schmaltz, Schmaltz line, the Hayton line, which is very good defensively. It's a big sample for years. Those guys have been part of the rebuild, and now that they're seeming like a team that can fight for a wild card spot or even playoffs next year, that is a strong defensive squad. But if anything, it will be combinations of San Jose, because I know it will be plus money. Maybe you could get away with a Wenberg and Toffoli. Now that Gunther's not there, Wenberg and Toffoli are on the lower line. That is plus 308. Because now we have to worry about matchups and who's going to be where. So in San Jose's case right now, and they did have morning skate. So they're confirmed. So yes, he did make the flight, like I said. Zetterlund and that's why he's not on here. Zetterlund and Kovalenko. No Zetterlund or Kovalenko on the ice. The top line is Eklund, Granlund, and Grundstrom. And if anything, yes. So it's what I just said. Because those two guys have been playing together. Whether they move to Foley, I mean, there was times that they had him on the third line or whatever. Wenberg's been with him, so they've played together. So if anything, you can have Wenberg and Toffoli. That would be interesting. So that's plus 300. And if I'm not mistaken, Wenberg and Toffoli are on power play 2 together. If I'm not mistaken. No, they mixed that up. They have Wenberg with Eklund. They have to find out who they're going to replace Zetterlund with because they got Zetter on the second power play. Power play 1 is actually Granlund, Toffoli, Smith, Celebrini, and Lindgren. And let's take a look here. And like I said, as of right now that news is out, we now have to wait. I don't think Utah had their morning skate, did they? It's willing to check. Yes, they did. And that literally just came out about 20 minutes ago. So, line 1, Cooley. They moved Logan Cooley with Keller and Schmaltz. They moved Hayton down with Michelli and Doan. Bukestad with O'Brien and Krause. And McBain, who's normally on line 2, is now down to the 4th line with Stellan and Kerfoot. So, looking at that combination, because of who he's playing with, Schmaltz and Keller, he's playing with an even more dominant shooter in Keller. He's like that. So even though Cooley can't shoot, I kind of like Cooley for an assist. With Cooley on the top line, Cooley for an assist. Because of who he's playing with. Gunther's a volume shooter. Keller's a bigger volume shooter. So yeah, Cooley for an assist is what I like there so far. And hey, we're finding out information. I thought this was going to be a quick 14-15 minute video. We'll probably stop this around 20 minutes. So Cooley for an assist is a good one. Let's get rid of these other props that I had before. Just showing out some stuff. Now we got to figure out some things. So for that's assist. So for a regular point, Cooley's still expensive though. So yeah, if you would like to do anything and combine it, what is Cooley assist with a basic Keller point? It gets you to plus 117, even though Keller's all the way at minus 330. And then if I go back, the power play lineup is now, wow. So they move, it's Schmaltz, Cooley, Keller, Barrett Hayes now. So Schmaltz, Cooley, Keller, and now randomly is Josh Doan, who's normally just plays the third line. That is pretty interesting. If Josh Doan gets a power play prop, he's worth taking. Because right now, before I sign off, right now it's obvious. The person who's, when it comes to power play, hey, risk it, biscuit, why not? If I saw it properly, it was because he just got moved back. It was pretty much like him coming back home. Yes, Brent Burns is now plus 500. He's back at the top power play. But that is the end of the episode. So, hey, we got a little bit of breaking news in a way. Like I said, at the beginning of the episode, right before I was getting ready to record, I saw Gunther out on FanDuel. And we got our new combinations. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you took some notes and trailed these bets. Have a good weekend. Happy Friday. This is Grade A Fantasy, signing off.